I know I shouldn't be surprised because I set this all up. Hi, my name is Charlie. I'm an non-binary sci-fi fantasy writer. It's been a day. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I am joined today by the wonderful Cat Leo and Megan McCarthy. The links should be in the doobly-doo, and if they're not, I'm mad at you, YouTube.
And if not, it's also my link, at least, is right there. I don't know.
The links are in the doobly-doo.
Oh, good. Good.
Because I told it to put them there, but sometimes
it doesn't listen.
Not do that. It has been a day and a half already, and it is 4:00 my time. So
5 o'clock my time. It's like
2
1 o'clock
my
her
time.
Oh, 2 o'clock her time.
Yes.
I really, if I can get the energy and the oomph, I really want to put together an intro just for this month as I'm working to get that new challenge badge over on World Anvil, because I'll be honest, I am a very basic bitch, and when I saw the badge, I was like, I need the badge. I need to come up with a short story just to have this badge. So
I want the badge, but also I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do it. Because I'm letting myself, because it's also the end of the semester for school. So I'm just letting myself like also do fanfic and not worry about anything original.
So for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, this month's challenge over on World Anvil is the Adventure Challenge. So previous years, it was write a one-shot.
Yes.
And this year, they've opened it up to people that aren't GMs, and you can either create a one-shot for a tabletop RPG or write a short story.
Cool.
Write an adventure.
Or you can do both.
Or you can do both.
Yeah. You can submit to both, but there's only one badge.
So I am working on a short story that I got a really fun title for, and immediately my brain went, "Oh, that could be this," and dashed out a quick outline for how that could work. And I don't know, people should be used to me by now. Magical NB in space, woo, is the story that I'm working on. It's a Scaran or a Phaeacian because I love my little silver-skinned peoples. And it's about all I'm going to say about it right now, because I have a feeling that my outline will not survive the writing process. Because while I'm like right now very confident, I know what the story is going to be about, I know how it's going to work, the only thing that may survive is the main character's name, because that's generally how my outlines cope with actual writing. They're like, the draft I shouldn't be working on. That's my outline. Or the draft I am never going to write is generally the outline. And then my brain goes, hey, what if we did this? And off we run. So, hello, Spence. Hello, CB. So I don't know if anybody else is doing that. And even if you don't have a World Anvil account, it's a good excuse to write an adventure story, because that's actually what got me excited about it. Is my life is I don't think I even need a word. I think that long, sad pause off into the distance, looking off to the distance, says everything about the state of my life right now. And so a little bit of adventure writing just seems, yes, yes, I'm going to do that thing. So, YouTube was being glitchy earlier. Yeah, I know they pushed out an update yesterday to the platform that I don't appear to have. Because you know how they added the reactions button now in the chat, where you can do like whole bunch of hearts or various
different reactions. There for a while.
No, it's been there for a while.
No. They added there's a thing to the YouTube Studio that will show you a chart of what reactions are getting in real time, so that you can see the reactions of your audience in a more metrical way, instead of just trying to figure out like all these emoji are popping up at the same time. What in the world's going on? because you get a line for each of the different ones, and I currently don't have it. I have it open over here. So
And I was
while
just
it was
playing with them, so
yeah, so while it was supposed to have come out yesterday, I am not seeing it. So because I'm in the studio right now, because I thought that would be really cool, because I thought we could use that for voting on things. Like
Yeah.
if you guys want to
Yeah.
do option A, then let's do do this
Clap your
emoji.
hands.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently I just exited and went back in to see if maybe the stream had to start first,
Mhm.
and maybe because I was in there before it started, it wasn't there. But I am not seeing. Yeah, I don't see it. It's not where they said it was going to be, so I don't know.
hi Nikki.
Hi,
Hi,
Nikki.
Nikki. So I guess we're not going to be using that for voting today, unless they hid it there. No, it's not. I thought they might have hidden it under the like maybe it replaced the chat, because it was over on the side where they were showing it, but I can see them popping up in the chat over there, but it's not doing the graph thing that they showed. So I don't know. But anyway, I think that's also a point that whatever they updated may not have worked or may have caused other problems.
Well, in Jules' stream this morning, the voting system, the poll, it let me vote, but then it didn't show that there were any votes for the poll, and she couldn't see on her end any results from the poll until you clicked to end the poll, and then you could see what the votes were. It was really weird.
So I
And
think
we
they
didn't
messed
figure it
something
out.
up.
Yeah, they broke something.
Things have been broken.
I think I feel safe in saying that. Yeah, that just does the start a Q&A, start a poll. Yeah. So, okay, I was planning on using that feature for like, what do you want to do about this, that, and the other thing? But no, it's not there, so we're not doing that. Best laid plans and all that.
One day.
Yeah, if they actually, it's like the classes that they announced 2 years ago they were rolling out, like the ability for us to do classes on YouTube, like structured classes. 2 years ago they announced. I've noticed it's still in their announcements. Like at this point, it's starting to sound.
This is coming.
Yeah,
This is
At some
coming.
point,
eventually, someday, maybe.
in the future.
But I will believe it when I see it. So I have not loaded a timer or anything related to that yet, because yeah. So let's just do a race. A race.
A race.
They are fun, and I can't share my screen yet because it goes away when it does the pop up when you pick one. So, of the race timers that you know of, traditionally, we would do like the costume race, which is fun. The monster.
I enjoy the emoji one.
That one's fun. They're all fun, though.
The alien one's pretty fun. All the weird shaped ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm writing some space opera today, so let's do the alien race.
I picked my phone up to do something, and I don't remember what it was now.
What were you doing before that made you think that you needed to do something on your phone?
I don't know.
Question. Then I can't help you there. I don't know.
I am I've been very honest with everyone, like my brain just is not functioning at the rate it should. So
Oh, Spence says, so I either need to be talked out of or into frogging that giant blanket I'm making and remake it as a Tunisian crochet project, even if it means it has to be smaller as a result.
ooh, um, I okay. My answer has to be the following: what will give you the most dopamine? If it will feel good to redo it, then that is what you should do. If that is the path to the greatest dopamine. If
Which giant blanket is my question.
How close are you to finishing this blanket is what I want to
Is
know.
it the white one that's super long? The king size?
Questions.
yes,
We have questions. A new one.
So what I didn't even know about.
I really
Oh, it's
feel
the
like
king
we need to
size.
do
It's
an-
the king size.
Okay.
You're not very far in that. So you do you, boo.
Oh, well then, whatever makes you happiest.
Yeah, I am very much in my life at the place of what will bring the most dopamine forward.
will
That
bring you
is the
joy?
thing what I am going to be doing, because everything else in my life is just vampiric and the evil right now. I have to say though, I want chili now. I didn't want chili
Chili and
before.
cornbread? Yes.
That sounds so good.
Gimme,
Hey.
gimme.
So even number means frog it. Odd number means continuous. Even number. It was a 10. So frog it. There. The dice have made the decision for you.
I'm wondering if there's some internet issues in general today, because as somebody whose work life has way too much to do with Zoom, and I'm desperately trying to fix that. Oh dear God, please help me fix that. Yeah, it was having all the problems today. So maybe the internet itself is being strained in some way. I don't know. Um,
I'll choose a color of heart for the choices.
this is true. That's a thing that could be done. I just went forward and did executive decision and picked the alien race
Purple!
because that just feels like the right thing to do. And a plan is made.
Tonight I frog!
I rolled a die. The dice are the answer. Also, my stepdad has a Timu problem. He used to have a wish problem.
Oh
so I now
no.
have a couple more dice. So he got some glow in the dark dice for me. And then he got me these dice.
Cool.
Those are
So
cool.
they're both full sets. But the man has a problem.
I used to have an Etsy problem where I would bid on things that were 99 cents or under, and I would bid on
Etsy?
like a no, not Etsy,
eBay.
eBay, yeah. Sorry, I mixed the two up. If you can't tell, that's where I was earlier today. So I was on. I had an eBay addiction where I would bid on things that were 99 cents or less, and I would just bid on hundreds of things because I hardly ever won them because they usually had it set up so that it would continue to
A certain amount.
yeah, up to a certain amount it would keep at increasing the bid, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I had rules. And so that's how I got a lot of Christmas gifts and some clothes, because a lot of
Nice.
and all of it was under 99 cents because I refused to pay anything more than $1.
Yeah, I'm the one with an Etsy problem because I keep buying gods there, but my altars are fabulous. So like that's my Bridget, and that's my Danu, and my Lou is over there. And I'm not saying that there may or may not be more in the mail.
So that is also a potential another thing I look forward to when I appear at your house. Besides the cats, it's also seeing all your stuff.
Oh, yeah, the library and the various altars and shrines and stuff that we have here. I actually have a first class Catholic relic, so I have a lot of stuff in this house. But alrighty, where is my brain? I really need to know where I put it today. But yeah,
And the pants you wore yesterday.
that's probably.
You left it in one of the pockets, and it's just
So-
sitting there.
I went into the government office. I handed them my ID. They typed the numbers in, and then they looked at me and they said, "Are you sure this is you?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Are you sure you're real?" And I was like, "I'm done with reality now, so no." And this poor person kind of had a moment of like, I don't know where to fill that in on the form. And I'm like, that just means your form is lacking info boxes. Like, no, I am in fact a figment of everyone's imagination. You are all hallucinating me right now and should probably go see a doctor. Let's just say people that work for government offices don't find that kind of humor funny. So yeah, that chewed up a lot of my soul yesterday. Alrighty, so let's just go ahead and do a preemptive race.
Oh, who do I choose?
I picked 15 minutes for our first sprint just to try to get some cobwebs out and maybe be able to do things.
Second one from the bottom.
So there's 6 there.
Because there's one with one eye and it's pink and
Yep.
it's hiding, and I want that one.
I think I want the 3-eyed one hiding behind the other 3-eyed one.
What 3-eyed? There's only one 3-eyed one.
There's
Oh,
2
wait, there it
3-eyed
is.
ones.
Okay.
There's the red
2
one.
3-eyed.
The red one's hiding. Reddish.
It's kind of like a purpley red.
Purpley red? Like, I don't know what color
It's
that
like
is.
a wine red.
It's like
Yeah,
Like a Merlot.
the not pink one.
the not pink one.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pick the blue one because I don't know. It looks like it might be able to, with that giant mouth,
That's not
just like
magenta.
scream in a way that would be very fulfilling. Because I feel like deep down in my soul, I'd feel a lot better if I could just like let go and just into the universe for about 15 minutes. But yeah, probably won't be a thing. But yeah, I'm going to try to work on my story, which once my brain has decided that I know what I'm writing about, I'll tell you more about. But right now, I have a title and a character, a full outline that we'll see how much of it comes into reality. I kind of want to start doing this thing where I post the stories that I write and the outlines for them, just so people can be like, so you outlined that story, yeah, but you wrote that story.
The problem with that is people will be like, well, could you also write that story too? Because I want that one also.
I do
Thank
too.
you.
You feel free. Like, because World Anvil has that story
Here's what it ended
seeds.
up, and here's what it was supposed to be. Like, just so have like the main content be what you actually wrote, and then the sidebar thingy that be what you put the outline. Like, so this is what I should have done, but here's what it ended up actually doing. And
Well,
just there you go.
Because you know how World Anvil has that story seeds section that you can fill out for all of the articles of like, here's where you can take this in your game. This like little box that you can fill in. I was just like,
so.
there you go. Let's just start putting my outlines in there to be like, here's the seed that got me to this thing. I know they're not the same, but creativity. It's crazy.
I like that you're getting Spanish ads.
Yeah, I don't understand why I'm getting Spanish ads, but
You're like really far away from Spanish speaking countries.
yeah, and if you notice, they're for Kindle and various Amazon products. I'm noticing that they're like almost all for Amazon. Yeah, that's
No,
like
wait, that was a
all.
Max.
Yeah, one Max one in there. Like if I had the money, I would give them the pennies so that we could not have the ads like we used to. But I have no money right now, so cannot do that. But I want to because it's very distracting with it constantly blinking through because its refresh rate on ads is insane. Anywho, we're gonna get started with this sprint. Wait. I just saw that Nikki had a question. Question for everyone. You're writing about a curvy girl who is in a wheelchair who falls in love with a guy who is a firefighter in the Navy. That's fun. What's one thing you hate reading stories like that?
I don't read stories like that. That's my answer.
As somebody who has dated way too many people in the military back when I was not married, the misunderstanding of how the military works really bothers me because there are things that you just can't do on dates, like not even like specific things, but like places that they kind of can't go because it might show up on a report that might influence their
Or like they're only allowed to
status.
go within a certain radius of their base because they
Yeah,
have to be on
Yeah.
call on all
Also,
periods of time.
damaging government property by leaving a hickey.
yeah.
If you
There's a
leave
lot
a
of weird
hickey in a
stuff like
visible
that.
spot, you can get in trouble for damaging government property.
So like just having a basic understanding of how the military works is usually an issue for me. Like it doesn't have to be like where they understand all of the ranks and all of that, but there are a lot of
The actual day-to-day.
there are a lot of strings attached when seeing somebody who is in the military sometimes just because of what they can and cannot do, where they can and cannot go, and with very few exceptions, you're probably not just waltzing onto the military base. And I see that in a lot of stories.
Yeah.
You have to get clearance. Like,
Yeah.
no one just walks onto a base.
No, you have to get your IDs
One
all
of my-
scanned
yeah.
and you have to have your
One of my
copies
friends
scanned.
is she lives on a base because her husband is in the army. He's a welder with the army now. So like, and she was explaining some of this stuff to me. I was like, that's just to go home.
Yeah.
If you left the base, that's
Yeah.
not including all the stuff she had to go through to get there initially.
Yeah.
And also just remember, especially if you're doing it with somebody who's in the Navy,
Which is different as well.
deployments are a thing. And especially with naval deployments, they don't always get their scheduled internet time, depending on what is going on or where they are, because
Yeah.
that's all through a satellite link up. And so if there's if the brass on the ship are doing a lot of communications, then nobody else on the ship is using the comms tower
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Just because it's those little things that tend to take me out of stories, especially romances, where it's like there's a certain amount of unreality I am okay with in a romance because it's a romance. Like relationships are messy and they're messy in a way that doesn't fit well in writing a romance story. So, oftentimes, but That was weird.
What?
It sounded like somebody tapped on my window, but they would have to be standing on top of a rose bush. I'm assuming it was a bird or something. Anyway, yeah, it's the little things about the relationship, the world that they live in. It needs to be consistent, and as consistent as it can be with reality itself.
And then for me, my personal thing that gets under my skin is I really don't like ableism, fat phobia, so you have to be really careful around if you were trying to attract a reader like me to your book, you would have to be really careful about how you approach the character who is curvy, because I don't also like internalized fat phobia. It's that kind of, depending on how you write it, can be problematic, and that doesn't appeal to me.
As somebody who's been in and out of wheelchairs through a lot of my life, having somebody be like, "Don't worry, we have a wheelchair for you," is such a red flag, because not all wheelchairs are made the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I have gotten really bad bruises because there'll be one pole or something that just sticks in. Just, I know you're familiar with wheelchairs too, but I know in one incident I had hurt my leg on a military base, and they offered me access to a wheelchair, and it would have been better if I had just hobbled out, because the bruising I got from the wheelchair that they provided was additional pain that was not necessary. And I wasn't even in that wheelchair for very long. They just kind of put me in it and took me from where I was going to a car to be able to leave. And it was one of those that had the fold out bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that it folded out, it left enough room that it kind of pinched a line down both of my legs.
Ooh.
And I had a linear bruise on both of my legs from that stupid chair. And yeah, that was, when your leg's messed up, having to then try to figure out how to lay on your side or stomach, because laying on your back is even more painful. Please no. Please no. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the but yeah, most of what would really take me out is if, for example, the person it's too easy for them to get off base for various things. If there's too much conflict over them not being able to get off duty, that is a huge red flag of, this is a person you shouldn't be dating, because if you're dating somebody who's in the military, they don't get to leave until they're told that they can leave.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't live with that, you should not be dating someone in the military. So
and if they get called back, they have to go back right then.
There is no
waiting.
Yeah,
they can literally be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen too many stories that have that as a stress point in the relationship. And honestly, that's not really a stress point. That's a sign that you shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody in the military. It's not, you either have to do a lot of work on yourself to get over it, because there's laws between you and the ideal relationship that you want if you have a problem with
you
that.
Also have to recognize that the person that is in the armed services is literally owned by the government. When I was saying government property, I was not kidding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Their rights belong to the government.
Yep.
Alrighty. So hopefully that was helpful. Bet you didn't realize that we were going to be this opinionated on that, though.
I know a couple of people that have been in the Army, National Guard, Air Force. like a couple of people in my family have been. I actually one of my friends, her cousin was in the Marines, and he was he had talked to her about some of the stuff because she had been considering it. And he's like, "Oh, sweetie, sit down." And then she shared what he sat down and talked with her about.
Oh, but the one other thing, because I've seen this in a couple stories, while there are some weird, like we just want government funds in our districts, naval bases that are in very weird places, it really takes me out when the naval base is not on a harbor or a body of water. There is one in the United States that I know of that isn't, and that's because the senator for that state argued for it to exist. So it does, and it technically has like simulators for training and stuff there. So it's technically, but these aren't like army, like naval bases aren't like army or marine bases where they can kind of be anywhere. It- Please put it up near water. And we no
Yeah.
longer like to put them on rivers because of what happened to what was it, Livermore? I think it was Livermore. It's one of the cities in the East Coast, on the West Coast in California, that had to be relocated after a munitions error caused the entire city to no longer exist.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember hearing about that, but I don't remember what it's called. I just know
Um.
it's
So Nikki said
around.
that two cousins were in the Navy. If you're able to ask them some questions, maybe ask them some
yeah.
questions so that you know like some more of, like the regs and stuff they had to deal with.
Mhm.
And then you don't even have to mention those things, really, but you can
Right
work
around
with
them.
them. Yeah.
Because with all things, like storytelling is about managing the, I like to use the word lies, and a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that, but managing the things that we have to suspend our disbelief for in the story. So making sure that you've got at least a good grounding in what's going on, and you're not basing your entire, like, this is what military life is like on a Tom Cruise movie. Not that you would do that, but I've definitely read, well, DNF'd a couple romance novels that they saw a Tom Cruise movie and were like, "Oh, I can write about the military too." No, no, that's only true if it's a movie starring Tom Cruise. I'm sorry, just no. He has a lot of control over the scripts that he's in, and yeah, no, that's not how any of that works. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into this sprint. Make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Make sure you have your document open. We'll be back in 15 minutes for a check-in in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Alrighty, it was the three-eyed, not quite pink one. Thanks what
Woo!
call that one?
The baby Megan one.
Chicken dinner.
Alrighty, so how did everybody do?
That was not however long that was. That was too short. I barely got like 2 sentences in. But I'm working on a complicated topic because why did I have to choose a complicated topic and only give myself 2 weeks to write it? Like
Because
if
you
I'm
were the
gonna
Megan.
if I'm gonna do a complicated topic, at least give myself a month. That is what I should do.
But you were the Megan.
I know. And my brain is like, no, we must do the complicated thing in the most efficient manner possible.
If you're not stealing the iBird eggs, what are you doing? Yeah, I got around 400 words.
Nice.
Yeah, about 400 words that time. It's mostly just the main character complaining, so it's easy to write.
Mhm.
Really doing that setting the stage thing of like, yeah, life really sucks for this character right at the beginning of the story, which is why they're going to go on an adventure. Let's see. We have Carrie in lurk mode. CB got 98 words. So let's do some fireworks for CB. Yeah, there we go. Fireworks. Oh, I do love that I can do that now. It cracks me up. And also that I know why I can do that. Oh, I did forget for everybody. So I'll go back and do it for Carrie. Hearts to everybody who's here. There we go. Put some hearts out for everybody.
Woo.
Because it's just fun to be able to do that. Um, had to check the number of movies the Avengers are going to watch. Oh,
Hmm.
can I just say thanks to She-Hulk?
Oh my gosh, which is 29. That's a lot of movies.
Ow!
I could never do it, but that's just me. I don't really watch movies. I
I
read
can watch them all at
books.
once.
My shoulder just popped. Wow.
Are you okay?
Oh,
Yeah. Sooner or later,
Carrie.
my right arm's just going to fall off. It'll be fine.
Oh no. Carrie ate food and made sloppy joes and fries. Yummy.
I did
You
a
know,
couple of For the Words battles and some research.
I know what you mean by that, but
This battle.
in my mind, I just see you throwing assorted meat products at your husband.
This, I was like, I know where this is going.
Like, sloppy joes. Just, I don't know, it just feels right. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. B. Let's see. Yeah, that was 15 minutes. Believe it or not, that was
Well,
15.
that was only 5 minutes. You're just saying that it was 15. It couldn't have been. Couldn't have.
Like I would love to say that that is awesome, and like we'll give myself some lasers for it. There we go. But I'm sorry, the camera does this now, and it's gonna be happening a lot. So sorry. But it's not so much like wow, that's awesome. It's given the life that I now have, I have very little time to do the creative stuff. So it's all like backed up inside my head, and I just yeah, it's just like Okay, I'm gonna open the floodgate now. Hopefully, you can catch it in time. Just brain dumping onto the page, and
Mm.
I am not a fan of this lifestyle, which is why I'm hoping to build up my coffee so that I I can go back to doing other things full time. But yeah, but I think any words are good. But yeah, it really helps when you've been just mulling stuff over in the back of your head and daydreaming while realizing all of the other nonsense that you have to do. Like I used to write nightmare fast when I was uh, managing at the Baby Depot, and it's just because that job took up so much of my time, and so much of it was okay. They just sent out the list, and I have to change the prices on everything again. And as I'm going through with my pricing gun, changing all of the prices, thinking of all of the things I wish I had been writing about, and then getting home and like so many words because they were already there. They were well rehearsed. You're just needing to get out. Just so much. So
I have to
much.
finish this battle. Sorry.
It's a watching the MCU fanfic with a twist. What's the twist? Is the twist that there's 29 of them? Or is it a secret twist?
So my frustration with the generalized movie going world is the great thing about the MCU is it's like comics. You only have to watch the ones that you want to because they catch you up on what you missed in the movie
More or
that's
less,
relevant
yeah.
to that particular movie. It's like how the comics work. The only thing that they need to do to be a little bit more like comics is have the little asterisk appear and have at the bottom little note on the screen for more. See this movie because comics do that all the time where something gets mentioned and you
For
just
more,
get a
see this
little
issue.
asterisk. Yeah, for more. See this issue of this comic. But we told you what you need to do. Move on because so help me, dear God, if I hear the word reboot one more time for anything, I'm done. Like I'm still frustrated that apparently they're trying to go forth and make the fourth reboot Star Trek movie. And like, why? Nobody liked the first three. Like, you made three and nobody cared. What do you think a fourth one's gonna make things better? Like, nobody cared. And it's really going to be confusing because that means they're going to have two different timelines of Star Trek movies in the theaters because they're filming a movie right now with Michelle Yeoh that's going to be in the Prime timeline. And you want to talk about people being confused about the MCU? If they start having Star Trek movies that are happening in two completely separate, walled off timelines that are completely unrelated to each other happening at the same time, people are going to get so confused that are not paying attention. Mainly because they're going to go to one movie and be confused why Michelle Yeoh's not there. Because let's face it, why isn't Michelle Yeoh in all of this? Like, hashtag put Michelle Yeoh in everything. I'm here for it. She's shown that she's got range. She can be a comedic actress. She can be a romantic actress. She can do the action sequences. She could do it all. She could bring the drama and make you cry. Like she could do everything. Just like first offer. Just we need a person for this role. Michelle, do you want it? Just start asking. Just let her say no.
So I just had a sudden realization and thought about the Vampire Diaries. Didn't at the end of season 1 they set Grayson's old building on fire? How did they put Elena in there for
Oh
the
wait,
Vampire Virus stuff?
I think you're right.
Because that's where they put all the tomb vampires and burned
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But yet it's not like that when Wes has Elena. because that's where she's being kept.
They fired the continuity director between seasons and nobody knew. That's why. I don't know.
I'm like, wait a minute.
So the idea of the-
I'm literally writing in Tomorrow Immortal, they're currently rescuing Enzo.
Oh, Enzo.
He deserved
Enzo.
better.
Yes, he did.
Also, past Bonnie has just found out, like, oh, by the way, we're gonna go save the future man that you're gonna fall in love with. By the way, also, this is Cole and Elijah, and they're going with us.
Hashtag Cole deserved better.
Yes, because Caroline's literally like, all right, Elijah, Cole, Bonnie, you're with me. Rebecca, you're also coming, but you're not actually going with us. But I have a task for you.
I mean, I would say Elijah deserved better, but Elijah kind of got what he wanted all along because he was just a sullen kind of a critter anyway. So, yeah. I have feelings about him. Okay, so CB, I know this is not what you're writing, or it may be, and then I really definitely have to like 100% read it. But my brain is doing this weird thing where during the blip, the Ghostbusters get called in because like phantoms of all the people that disappeared start showing up in random places. And that's the MCU Ghostbusters crossover that's happening in my brain right now. And I don't have the energy to write that. But I don't know what you're doing, but that's where my brain is. I may have
We're
just
totally
done a
about to murder Wes. It's great.
I may have just done a rewatch of the Captain America movies because I just needed Chris Evans in my life right now.
Oh, I finished my bed.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't warn Brian about that when we did our watch through because he wanted to know what we were talking about. So he has now seen like all of the everything. But I did not warn him. I wanted his experience to be I wanted to enjoy the pain through him. Let's just put it to you that way. I wanted to ensure that he suffered when that moment happened so that I could enjoy vicariously that suffering for the first time again.
Hold on. I gotta grab.
But yeah.
So I have this lovely sheet here. And it's all of the things that Caroline has to deal with in yeeting the timeline. How long this is.
Nice.
It is so much.
Because it's stuff from the Vampire Diaries and stuff from the originals. So basically how I have it set in this fanfic is essentially a lot of the stuff that they did started the little drops that led to the end of the world. And then when the too many of the Michelsons died, nothing was able to take their place in the balance of nature. And so it triggered even more. So now they're like, "Hey Caroline, we got a laundry list for you. Also, your daughters get to go with you so they don't die and disappear."
So like here's my solution to how to fix so much of this. And if this were reality, I would not be making the suggestion, but she needs to go back in time, put those magical manacles on them that just like makes them not able to do stuff, lock them in a room where they cannot harm but have to deal with a therapist until they have worked through all of their trauma and then they're allowed to leave. Like, y'all have stuff you need to process so this world doesn't end. Especially you, Klaus. I'm looking at you.
Right? I literally, one of my author notes, I'm literally like, okay, so I basically negated all of seasons 3 and 4. The only thing that's not negated is the fact that everybody needs therapy. Because I had Caroline, so in the fanfic, Caroline gets sent back in time with Hope, Josie, and Lizzie. Hope, Josie, and Lizzie are all her daughters now. Because Caroline ended up becoming Hope's mother because both her parents were dead.
Yep.
Guys, she was orphaned. Okay. And she went to her school and Caroline became her mom. in this. And so because they're essentially making it where the girls will not exist, they're erasing them from the timeline. Because they need to close like all the loopholes and stuff that were created, and like the Gemini Coven won't completely be eliminated, like stuff like that. Joe won't die, so like her and Alaric have a chance that they can actually have kids if they meet. Um, but so they got hurtled through time. But like Freya, Davina, Bonnie, and the rest of the witches that were left, like witches from around the world came together to send them through time. And are like, also, here's some extra laundry lists for ya. Drop those in your brain too. So Caroline isn't even 100% sure of everything she's dealing with. Because she has like the list from the originals and the Vampire Diaries themselves. And then these other people are just like, hey, while you're at it, maybe a hand.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I love the Vampire Diaries stuff, but it is a PSA for therapy. Like, it just is an ongoing extended PSA for therapy. Because the answer to why is all of this happening? Because no one processed their trauma.
Yes.
That is the answer. That is always the answer. Unprocessed trauma caused all this grief.
Yes.
Just
Like, so I've had them get rid of, they basically road tripped it to Nova Scotia, got rid of Silas by transferring his powers and his immortality to Caroline. And then they're like, okay, but we also, Amara deserved better. Tessa was a bitch, but she also deserved better.
yeah.
It is wild to listen to this and have no idea what's going on.
You're welcome.
Thousands of years of unprocessed trauma got worked out on a poor group of teenagers in Virginia. Like that is the plot of the
To them.
that is the
Except
plot of the
for-
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. A group of teenagers get everybody's like thousands and thousands of years of trauma chucked at them so they have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then they also
But-
get trauma.
Yeah. And it just compounds and compounds and compounds.
That's probably why I never got into that show. It's not really my cup of tea.
It's a bunch.
I'm a
Sorry,
Gilmore
I need to
Girls
check
kind
somebody
of
else off of this
gal.
list because I've technically taken care of Esther.
But see, that
Caroline
does sound
forced
like
her to
that's going to
experience
be
everything.
interesting. Yeah, we're not going on a tangent about Elijah. I have a lot of feelings about Elijah.
Trying to decide, should he get with Catherine?
Only if you have some need to make him feel happy for a moment before she inevitably betrays him again.
Right? Literally, I love how I have Catherine on this list, but I also have her daughter on this list, and I'm like, I have a solution here. Just put them together and lock them in a room so they have to work through their shit together, and hope Catherine doesn't kill her daughter.
Forced therapy. Like that's just how
It's just forced therapy.
Hi,
Like,
Peanut.
I know she's already gone, but lasers for Peanut.
Can I help you? Okay.
I love being able to do that. It cracks me up.
I wish I could.
Alrighty.
I might bounce some ideas off of you though, Charlie, for some of these things to fix them. Because you've watched everything a lot more recently than I have. And I'm just like, what about this chaos? Also, I didn't have Bill killed. He's alive. But now he's basically like doing Caroline's dirty work.
As long as we don't have to talk about the weird hell episodes, I'm fine.
So I think I've decided a way to get rid of, or I'm trying to figure. I know a thing that I want to happen, but I have to figure out how I'm going to make it happen. If that makes sense.
Alrighty. I am wanting to try. Where are you? Okay, let's try this again. I am wanting to try to get a few more words. I have upped the time, if you notice, by 5 minutes. So we're now up to trying to do a 20
My battle.
for this one. Oh, you don't notice the name I have not said this entire time. I've not brought. Yeah. So many feelings. All right, when I reset the timer, it reset the aliens that are available.
Oh, but there's a cute purple one.
Yeah, I knew right when I saw that. I was like, I know who Megan's going for.
The not giraffe is what I'm going to choose. It's not a giraffe.
I mean, you're not wrong, but okay. Oh, so I'm gonna take the red boy in the front because I don't know, that snaggletooth is just adorable. Like, just aw. And also, like, how sensitive are your eyes? Like, are those correct? Is that a corrective lens or what? Because like the rest of your body is naked, but you have a fishbowl around your eyes to protect them. So like, oh, my poor little soft boy alien in the front. Yes, I create backstories for everything. It's a problem. Welcome to being a sci-fi writer and a fantasy writer, and most writers in general. But like, everything must have a backstory, and there must be elf shoes, and they must be important. Alrighty. Before we get started in this, make sure that you are hydrating and taking care of yourself because it is extremely important. And because I can and we should make sure that you are saving your work. Do not feed the gremlins. They are hungry. They are out there and they are trying to take everything away from us. Do not give in. Do not empower them. Save your work. It's very important. Let's go ahead and get started on the sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The red one won.
I was so not ready for the applause. I nearly jumped out of my skin. Oh, yay, I won. Oh, heard you say it, but it didn't sink in. Alrighty, how did everybody do?
CB won as well.
Looks like I got around 300 and some words again that time, but I did the dumb thing and wanted to name the planet the main character is on. Because of
And then you got
course I did.
distracted.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And of course,
I got food.
fantasy name generator didn't want to load, and it was a thing. And
Mm.
blah, 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 blah.
So that reminds me. Go ahead, Megan.
I transcribed all my notes from my notebook into Obsidian, and then I got a glass of water because I was like, I am parched. So now I'm all set. Continue, Kat.
So earlier I got on the fantasy name generator and I was like, I'm just gonna look at random barbarian names. And one of the first ones it showed me was GHAD. But with the font they have, I was like, Chad? You're a barbarian. I'm like,
Conan's weird brother. Hi, I'm Chad the Barbarian. I like beaches and working out. Sorry. Apparently, I had opinions.
I felt I had to share that with you.
I kind of want to read Cow the. I'm sorry. I'm looking down at the chat. I'm now at Cow. Chad the Barbarian. The Madcap Adventures of Chad the
But
Barbarian.
it's spelt GHAD, and he gets upset, and when people call him Gad, that's not his name. His name is Chad.
That's funny. Hey, Jules, how are you doing? I really wanted to be at your stream today, but life is a many splendid thing. Yeah. How are you doing? I hope everything is going well. And I need more input about the cowpo.
So Jules found I was gonna say recipe, but that's not the right word. Pattern for a hippo, and she really wants to make a cow. So she was thinking she could just like alter the pattern to turn the hippo into a cow. And I was like, yeah, that's something you could totally do with that pattern because it looks like if you use the right colored yarn and you made like adjustments to the ears and whatnot, it would look pretty cow-like.
Yeah, I'm not showing off my amigurumi right now. Sorry, I have an army of amigurumi just off camera that no one can see. But before I get too distracted, let's get some fireworks out there for CB with 111 words.
Woo!
Yay. Fireworks for you. That's awesome. And we get a quote, a little bit of flavor text. You know, I feel like people who write name dictionaries like to make themselves feel better, because have you noticed how many names, especially for the men's, go back to defender, protector, mighty man, strong man? Like, there's no way that the languages that you're drawing from had that many words for strong, mighty, or defender, protector for all of your male names to mean that. Just saying. It feels a
My
little.
name means great. My middle name means waterfall. So I am Great Waterfall. And my mom used to call me Great Waterfall of Trouble.
I believe my first name means no, like strong one, and my middle name means noble one, or something like that. And it's like, yeah, I've met a lot of people that had these names, and no, this does not. It does not apply at all. Nice. I mean, yes, there are a lot of words for snow and stuff, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's a lot of self-aggrandizement going on in a lot of, like, here's what these names totally meant. Because all of the lady names are always like, it meant flower. When you're like, that's not even anything like the word for flower in that language, just even at that time. Like, where are you getting that meaning from? Like,
So my boyfriend just checked this at me. Strawberry bubblegum in a package. So I have to open it at some point once I figure out how.
I don't know if it would even work, but there's part of me that's like, I feel like you should have lemon flavored bubblegum just because you are you.
Oh, I would love lemon flavored bubblegum or lavender bubblegum. I would just love lavender anything. I'm so upset about the lavender drinks at Starbucks because I'm boycotting them and they know it, so they've made a lavender drink just for me. And I'm just like, you know me, but I will resist you because you know. Don't be an evil company.
I feel like this is the part where the socialist in me has to be like, all companies are evil by the nature of existing.
Well, yeah.
So,
But I mean, there are levels of evil, and you've exceeded the
Yeah.
levels of evil.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like, I'm just kind of. Can you tell I'm just getting done with a lot of stuff? Like, is it showing? Is my world weariness showing? I must be part elf. I'm starting to dream of the sea. My sea longing is strong. I love the name Veronica. In fact, when we were debating how I was going to adopt a new name, that was very high on my list of possible names to have taken. And in fact, as I'm just sitting back and getting tired of half the people that know me knowing me, I'm just like actively contemplating like filing the paperwork and completely changing my first and last name and disappearing except for to those people that I give my identity to, my new identity to. Like, just I'm kind of at that place. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, violet candies are really, really nice. See, I love the name Vera. Like, I think I would work as a Vera. I also kind of wanted to steal my one of my great aunt's names because her name was Viola and she went by Vi her entire life, and I really like that name. But
I had a childhood friend named Victoria, and she went by Tori. And yeah, she liked that name.
I have weird and mixed feelings about Starbucks because a friend of mine worked there and they were very, very good to her until they weren't. Like,
Yep, they're very good to you until they're not.
like she had worked her way up the corporate ladder and like got really into the company and everything looked really, really good and rosy. And then not my story to tell. And I don't know if she had to sign any NDA, so I'm not saying anything else, but stuff happened. World weirdness. It's Wednesday, hump day, struggle day, full of woe day. Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, because I haven't really talked about this much
All of them must have gone through.
online. Because of the state of everything around here, last Saturday was the last day our restaurant was open, and we had to close everything down. And that has been very hard for us to go through. But we had a month to get everything cleaned out of the building until yesterday, when we got a phone call, and we now only have to the 12th.
Oof.
So there's a lot of emotions happening that my brain does not know what to do with them. So it's just kind of collecting them in jars, and every now and then just picking them up and looking in and like, what do I do with you? I don't know. Put you back over there. Which one are you now? And yeah, we're going through a lot right now. And yeah. And that's not even getting into like all the stuff at work, which is also chaos right now. So like life is hitting everybody like really, really hard right now, which I feel like this is the time for your astrological energetic warning of the year. Apparently, like when you look at what it means to have a new moon and what it means to have an eclipse are like very similar to each other, and we have a new moon and an eclipse happening on the same day coming up. And we've, amongst the people I've been talking to for the last 2 days, we've come to talk about it as there is a giant violent thunderstorm of change rolling across the earth right now, and we all need to have our lightning rods up, because I'm not going to tell everybody's struggle, because there's a lot of them going on right now, but a lot of us have been hit randomly with, oh, and here everything in your life upended, and everything in your life upended, and everything in your life upended. So get your lightning rods out. The giant violent thunderstorm of change is going across the nation, and if you have any witchy ways in you, Tuesday might be a good day to do a working, because apparently the working is hitting people whether they asked for it or not. So maybe try to channel that into something you want, maybe. It's a crazy time out there right now. It is very much a crazy time right now. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm trying not to like get too maudlin on the streams, so I have not really been talking about a lot of what's been going on lately. But yeah, if I've seemed extremely distracted, you know, a bit more.
I like Carrie's interpretation down here.
Yeah,
Like all of these dice, and it's just like,
yeah. Like make
well,
sure
that
you
wasn't that
scatter your
one.
saving throws. Like, yeah, because it seems like in the last 4 days, I have gotten more messages from people going, well, everything in my life is the exact opposite of the way that it was yesterday now. Or this major change is now happening. Or, so remember those things I said would never happen? That's how almost all of my text threads start for the past week or so. Like somebody just like, so yeah, so like if you have not been hit by the giant raging thunderstorm of change that is apparently barreling down the planet right now, be thankful and make sure you have your lightning rods up, because
Batten down the hatches.
yeah, there's some change. Stuff is going on.
Solar flares, eclipses, Mercury in the microwave again, all the things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm not one of those people that likes to like really blame the stars for things, but like this is one of those moments where it's like it feels good to be able to point at something and say that's fault. That thing did it. That thing did it. Because when everything is just nothing but darkness and shadows and storms, like just oh Lord, I need something to point at. And right now, I'm looking at you, sun. You got to go into an eclipse on a new moon. What the hell? Because also, it doesn't hurt to yell at the sun because the sun has no feelings.
And Apollo can eat glass.
Okay, so I have a friend who is new to witchery, and she was talking about pantheons or anything, and we may have started talking about the Greeks a little bit. And I gave my opinions about several of the Greek gods, and then she said something about Apollo, and I was like, well, as a friend of mine would like to say Apollo can eat glass. And I thought I killed her because apparently she thought it would be safe to take a drink because we're just talking about like Greek mythology stuff. And it was not safe to take a drink at that point. But yeah, I'm spreading your wisdom that Apollo should eat glass far and wide.
Hurt him. He's a god. He'll be fine, and it's weird, and he'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
So originally I was saying he can suck a dick, but he would actually enjoy that.
Yeah, he would enjoy that way too much.
So then I said he had to eat glass, and he's a god, so he'll be fine.
But just so you know, that ringing that you just heard, that was Brian saying that he is on his way home, which is good because he shouldn't have gone in today because he's not feeling well. But
Stubbornness.
that is a conversation for when we get home. So I was wanting to end the stream at around 6-ish because I'm trying to do more 2-hour streams just because it's good for me. But if y'all want to do one more sprint, I can do one more sprint. Like if we go over a bit, that's fine. So I'm looking over here because the real-time chat is over there. The StreamYard chat has a bit of a delay in it. So I'm looking at you wonder why like I asked you a question and then immediately looked away. It's because I can see the real-time chat.
Understand.
So if y'all want to do one more sprint, let me know. And we will do that. Unfortunately, Nikki's not here to vote because we got to be right back from her. So if we decide no, we're going to get a what happened? But if you just want to talk for the next like 8 minutes, that's also cool. Either way, like this isn't one of those, if you say no, I'm just going to click end stream kind of thing. We could chat for another 8 minutes. That's fine. But
Carrie says one more sprint so she can do bedtime routine and not miss conversation.
that works. Okay. So we'll do another 20 minutes. I don't know how much of that I'm going to get to actually try to be creative in because, you know, the Chaos Demon is on his way home. And if I have my druthers, I'm probably going to send him right back to bed so that he can get rested up. But he's not going to listen to me. So that's for another time. That's for another time. Alrighty. So let's just load this up. Let's click the race again. I forgot to hit the buttons. Wait, why is my browser? Stop. If I disappear, Chrome's doing a thing. There we go. Chrome was not wanting me to switch tabs for some reason.
Purple.
Everything froze.
Oh no.
Not giraffe.
Since red won last time, I'm going to go with the green bolt kind of a dude because, man, I need to have my head screwed on right. And the gray one looks too much like a bending unit for me to be comfortable picking right now. Alrighty. As per usual, make sure that you have something to hydrate with, that you have your document open. We're going to start on the sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go!
Woot woot, I won. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Congratulations.
Yay! Purple one won. How did everybody do? I got about 200 words that time, but I had a lot of dog aggro because her little psychic dog brain realized that somebody is on their way home, and she was right here and wanted to be nowhere else. So I had a lot of dog aggro during that one, but still managed to get some words up. Do you want to come here? Come here. Come here for a second. Sasha, come on. Yeah. It's not a trap. Come on. Come here.
I love this username of this person.
Come here. Hi.
Oh.
Which is yeah, yeah. I was just telling them how you knew that Brian was on his way home and that you're very, very excited about it and that you had to make sure that I knew. Yeah. He's not here yet. Yeah, I know. He's not here yet. But that you were very excited. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You're going to go back over and watch more? Okay.
So this person's username is Stab the Soup. Like, I love this. But their picture, the image they have on their for their profile picture is like this really pretty picture.
I have so many feels about that.
That's one thing I love about Tumblr is people's usernames. It's just like, how did you come up with such a random username? Like, I would love
things together. It's fun.
Did I just hear a door?
Hmm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I know that I heard a chairs. Let's go down. Up here.
Did you hear something?
Did
Did you hear something? You should keep an eye out. Brian's about to get here. Look, even McGonagall ran over to look out the window. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Where were we? CB got 15 words. Let's give some fireworks. Yay for the 15 words. All words are good words. All words are good words. And Nikki's back. So let's see. Party? Yeah, party. Yay. I don't know when that's going to get old or if it ever will, but you know, I like it. But yeah, it's. I'm liking the story. I'm almost to the, I guess we'd say, call to adventure portion of it. We have introduced the character. We have introduced the setting. They're in a place where they're believed they are alone, and then they heard something moving coming towards them. They have just seen what is moving and are trying to figure out how they are going to survive. Because have you met me? Like this is kind of sort of. So I'm enjoying the story. We'll see what is going on with it, and hopefully I will continue to write on it, and it will bring much, much, much joy. Oh, the animals are all waiting at the door right now because, you know, it is what it is. I don't know. He might not come right in. I was about to say, just wait for him to get in and then end the stream. But given the way he was feeling when he left, he might just see the chaise in the back room and just be like, I want to sleep here now. And I would not blame him at all. But yeah, I hope you all had the fun today. tomorrow we are going to be doing a game stream on this channel, maybe doing Star Trek. We meant to do it last week, but life happened, and we had a really fun random stream where everyone did
So
everything.
random.
It was fun.
I did buy that. I did buy the research game, the one that I was playing the demo of.
Nice.
I might get that one. I'm not sure.
So who knows what we're going to be doing tomorrow? We may be fighting evil Wesley Crusher, or at least getting our butts kicked by him, or who knows? Tune in and find out, because yeah, I know all of us were having a week last week, and all of us are still having a week this week. So
Fun times.
yeah, it's an exciting time to be alive.
If I'm there, you'll probably listen to me ramble about fan fiction and not understand half the things I'm talking about. For most people,
Yeah,
But that's half
at least
the fun.
from this person.
I have to say though, that's how I've been talking to watching so many things, because I love watching like theory and weird, like, I have to tell you about this thing I love videos online. Like, they're like my favorite content. And I have been convinced to watch a lot of stuff because I want to try to have an ounce of the excitement or interest that this person is showing at this thing. She's like, a thimbleful, I'd be very happy. Like, just a thimbleful of whatever you're having. May I please? May I please? So, something I really enjoy. But anywho, check out my stuff. It's all over at World Anvil. I am CE Dorset over there. I'm CE Dorset on most things. I've been posting a lot more over on Blue Sky, and I've been trying to use Threads, but it doesn't make it easy. Threads, try harder. But I'm CE Dorset on both of those, or if you want to just have access to my unhinged destroy the patriarchy rants, follow creation's paths on both, because especially on Blue Sky, having a lot of those over on Blue Sky of just like, let's just tear it all down, let's just go, and it's fun because people are engaging with them. So yay. Anybody have anything that they would like to say before we run off?
I do stuff. The link is here by my name. You can't see me pointing. That's okay.
MeganMcCarthy.substack.com.
Yeah. Woo.
All hail Trish Payne of feminism.
Yeah. We still need to come up with a name for our little mascot, but
that's what polls are good for. Or if you just like randomly mispronouncing things like I do. That's where most of the names for our stuff came from. And Kat's just awesome. Follow all the stuff that Kat does, especially Kat's Twitch channel, because she's on there a lot more than I stream.
I'm over there all the time. Yeah. It might. I just find out this week if I get a new job.
fingers crossed.
And if I get that new job, I will have a regular schedule.
Woo!
If that makes sense. And a job that will be better for my mental health. So fingers crossed I get it.
All the fingers, all the toes.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about what kind of a job would be good for my mental health right now.
Honestly, I wonder if there is a job that would be good for my mental health, because like it's so shaky.
Actually, I do know that there is a job, and while I really, really want it, it's hard to get funding for it. Like, I would love to just be a hermit out in the middle of nowhere, just doing my like witchy stuff. Like, can I just be the creepy old wise person that lives up on the hill, and occasionally people visit and give you remedies? Like, can I be that person? And that's the dream. Such the dream. Anywho, have the fun, and hopefully you'll come join us tomorrow. I know we play video games, but it's basically the random conversations with games happening in the background. So
It really is.
Fun.
And Brian getting everybody killed.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. All
He's
the
so
time.
good at it. Alrighty, have the fun, y'all. Bye.
Bye.